Hey, my name is Danny Saunders. It's 1:19 p.m. Sunday, March 3rd, 2018. I have something on my mind, which is the whole point of recording this. I can go back to and look at it later. Earlier in my life, I was really confused. I had all these questions. I'd been reading all these books, but none of them seemed to have the answer. I was looking for answers that I couldn't find, and I couldn't even go to my dad because we hardly talked. It's like I hardly knew him, and he only spoke to my brother. And I had this anger towards my dad. Maybe it's because I'm more into Freud's psychoanalysis in my background. It's more like you don't ask questions. There's always silence between us. You just don't ask questions. You just believe what you've been taught.
It all started in my old Brooklyn hometown when I was playing baseball with my high school softball team. We were against these guys. They were super traditional Orthodox Jews. We're talking traditional religious garb, black hats, long curls, black jackets, and a white button down. This guy on the other team, Danny Saunders, was supposed to be a good batter. He was making fun of my team, basically saying we didn't have a chance. He basically told us, we're going to kill you guys this afternoon. And then I said, really? Well, you better rub these for good luck. Basically, in the end, I was pitching, and I totally struck this first guy out with a wicked curveball. Next, who do you believe comes up? That Danny kid. So he steps up to the plate, and I immediately get 2 strikes on him. Easy. I'm thinking, this guy, he's going to be an easy out. But then he readjusts, and on the third pitch, he smacks it, and it goes right for my head. And I'm thinking, oh man, I've got to catch this thing. But before I can catch it, it hits the top of my glove and smacks me right in the face. And before I know it, I'm being sent to the hospital because I've got broken glasses and a bad eye.
Felt so bad for hitting Ruben in the eye. So the next day, I went to the hospital to apologize, and we started talking. We were talking about our different backgrounds, which was the main reason why we were so against each other in the first place. He, a traditional Orthodox Jew, and me, a Hasidic Jew. We started talking, and we kind of found out that we actually have a lot of the same interests, and we were even born in the same place, the Brooklyn Memorial Hospital. And some of the questions that I'd asked him earlier, he gave me some answers to. I even told Reuben one of my biggest secrets, how I sometimes read non-religious books that my father would never approve of. And this is something that's so very against my religious culture, and I was able to share this with him. I've never told that to anyone, and he actually understood. Got some people working here, so hopefully they don't hear my secret. And I understood, this conversation helped shed some light on the silence between me and my dad. It was a little bit of an introspection for me, and I'm thankful for our conversation.
We became so close, I actually had someone to connect with. Even though we came from very different religious backgrounds, we were able to find similarities between us. Here was this guy, very different from me, and yet he was just like me. He believed religion should be questioned, and although we always don't have the answers, it's okay to discuss different ideas and explore different avenues. After the accident with my black eye, everything around me looked different. The connection with Danny allowed me to open up and look beyond the superficial appearances. I was able to broaden my perception of the world and relate and emphasize with others' suffering. Danny told me how his experience with silence and his dad was the same thing. He learned to appreciate words. Our 2 differences allowed us to get along and understand each other better.
I was brought up a Roman Catholic. My parents would always tell me to have good manners and pray to the Virgencita before going to bed so that I would have a place in heaven with God. I had built this facade of neatness, but coming to La Sierra, I've had so many questions. If I don't know my Roman Catholic prayers, does that mean that God won't accept me? Does society make us put so much faith in religion that it makes us lose faith within ourselves and what we believe is right for us and us alone? Why do we put so much emphasis on what others might think of us simply because we hold different religious views? The atmosphere at La Sierra has helped me be open to different views out there, and that it will continue to do. For example, my friend Samantha, I met her my first year here at La Sierra. Honestly, I was a little scared meeting her because from what I had heard before, mostly Seventh-day Adventist students attended here, and I didn't know how to react or how to respond. But I'm also not saying that she's from another planet. Simply, she's just someone who holds different religious views from mine. But I soon found out we shared common interests, and to my surprise, we got along very well. Through the course of our friendship, I've come to learn religious aspects from her life as well as she's learned religious aspects from my life.
Hey, it's actually 8 o'clock, so I should be going to bed, but honestly, I can't even sleep. And I just lay there thinking, so I figured it'd be best for me to record and get it all out there. So, the other day in communications class, we were defining the term communication. The professor defined it as the sharing of symbols to create meaning. From there, the lecture steered into the direction of religion and how religious symbols communicate specific meaning for us. From this really got me thinking, what meaning and value do I place in my faith? Why do I believe what I believe? Is it because it's something I've been taught and I just grew up believing this, or am I now supposed to seek truth on my own? I don't even know. I'm really just really frustrated and confused, angry, and just everything. You'd think coming to an SDA school would further strengthen my beliefs, me coming from a Seventh-day Adventist background myself, but I don't even know. I don't know what I'm doing, if it's wrong, or what I can do to strengthen my faith. So on the plus side, I'm able to connect with a lot of people here at my school, especially my friends. We really understand each other, we openly share our ideas, and we're all pretty close. It's just really good to have that social support, especially from my friend Jessica. She's Catholic. Just because she isn't an SDA like me, though, doesn't mean similarity between us doesn't exist. Our backgrounds may appear different on the outside, but a lot of her core beliefs are just like mine. We both agree on how man was made equally and how we should all strive to be better people. I value her ideas, and she really values mine. It's just sometimes hard to find meaning in all of our differences, but it's definitely possible.
Are there any resonances with the Christian worldview? The Christian worldview is the idea and the beliefs a group or a culture has and how they interpret it to the world and interacts with it. So you guys already know about Danny and Reuben. Danny, the boy who was born to a Hasidic family, and Reuben, the boy who was born to a traditional Orthodox Jewish family. So Danny's culture, as he said, they were more isolationist. They're more obligated to study the Torah and serve God. But Reuben's culture, as you saw, was more open-minded. They were more about learning, about the world around them. The intellectual, spiritual obligation was to fill one's life with meaning. These two different cultures were like different denominations of the Jewish community back in that time, and they had somewhat conflicts between their philosophies and what they believed in. If you look at the present, we know many denominations of Christianity, like the Seventh-day Adventist and the Roman Catholics. So how Samantha being an SDA and Jessica being a Roman Catholic, and how hard it was for them to interact with each other, share their questions and their beliefs, what they believed in, their views, and how they had to adapt to those and try to find similar grounds just to make sure that it doesn't affect their friendship. The answer to the question was yes, there is a resonance with the Christian worldview. You see how it happened back then between Danny and Reuben, and how it happens now. We all tend to ask questions. Questions like, where are we heading? What should we do? How should we attain our goals? What's true and what's false? Back in time, Danny and Ruben asked questions, and in the present, Samantha and Jessica, who are students just like us, asked questions. The second part of the question was, how was this developed, and how was it done deliberately? Asking questions is part of our human nature, to gain more knowledge, to learn new things, and about your own beliefs and beliefs of others. It's developed within the human nature. It's a trait we all have. The book deliberately shows the differences and the conflicts between the two traditional Jews and the similarities that they had.
There is a resonance with the Christian worldview. It's human nature to learn more about what we believe in
and to understand more about what people around us believe.
It is a human trait to learn,
Share your views with others,
And interact with the world.